What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you come into the channel. Check out the content. And with that being said, I want to talk about a recent interview that Gloria Valdez gave on Vlad's podcast, right? And where she spoke about how Nas and did the beef between Nas and Jay-Z. And also she spoke about like how Nas got caught, like he had sex with one of Jay-Z girls. And so I was watching Vlad, and then after I finished with Vlad, I went to Choke No Joke, right? And but before I played Choke No Joke, like what he had to say about this, it just seems to me like back in the day, these guys they're like, it's like they slept with the same women all the time, and so these guys was competitive and they was always competing. And allegedly Jay-Z got mad because Nas slept with one of his girls. Then at one point in time, Jay-Z slept with one of Nas girls. So this was a big, like this caused a lot of friction, not only with these guys, but you seen it with Jay-Z and Jay-Z and Dame Dash and Puff Daddy and what's the guy name? 50 Cent. And I really can't understand why do these guys like mess with the same women in the same circle. Like it's just so many women out here. Like I really can't understand like why these guys have to mess with the same young lady. But I also want to listen to what Choke No Joke had to say about this, because this is probably like he kind of gets some insight into why these guys never really got along and why they, until this day they still in competition. So with that being said, I'm gonna play Choke No Joke, like him commenting on it, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna make some comments on the situation with Nas and Jay-Z.
Banged one of Jay-Z chicks that Jay was in love with. The chick, I ain't gonna say her name because Gloria didn't say her name. But those who know, right? But this would explain to many of y'all why Jay hated on Nas for so long, even though he drew first blood sleeping with Carmen, Nas' baby mother, you know.
That's crazy.
And, I guess Nas, an eye for an eye, right? So he banged one of the girls Jay was in love with. But it would explain to many people why Jay had this goddamn animosity. Look at this, what you call it? Iguana right here.
See, I don't understand. Like, okay, they get mad at each other for sleeping with the same women in the same circle, but they're not committed to any of these women, and these women are not committed to them. But yet they still get mad, and they allow their competitiveness and their jealousy to mess up business relationships. A lot of people say this is part of the reason why Rockefeller fell apart, is because Jay and Dame competing for the young lady. What was her name? That one who passed, Aaliyah. So let me get back to Choke No Joke though. I mean, it's just crazy. I don't get it. Hold up, he just right now he's not even talking. He just walking. But for some reason, they kept chasing the
Y'all
same
know
young
me.
ladies.
I'll go walking through the woods,
Come on, Choke.
through the trees, on the path. I'm always encountering some goddamn animals, mammals, reptiles. Anyway, but getting back to Iceberg Slim. The sucker for love. Y'all think Jay was a pimp? No, that nigga was simping. So all these years, now y'all know why Jay had a ill hatred for Nas. Because Nas banged one of the chicks Jay was in love with. Which is only right. You know, he just returned the favor. But the ill thing is, you see how Nas kept it G? He didn't get on this he didn't get on record like Jay did on Super Ugly and put the chick out there like that. You know?
And if you think about it, it do seem like in most of those situations, Jay-Z really, like when he fell for a young lady, he really fell for because he caught feelings. Like he caught feelings. A lot of people say he caught feelings with Aaliyah. Then he caught feelings with this situation with him and Nas. And with really, these women didn't belong to him. They just belonged to the streets, and he still caught feelings.
You know what I'm saying? So it lets you know how much of a simp Jay-Z is or was back then. Sucker for love ass nigga. Now we know why Nas wasn't really pressed like that. Because he returned the favor. But what I'm curious to see is if, I ain't gonna say her name, what I'm curious to see is if she's gonna come out and talk about it now that Gloria came out and talked to her. I call her Glow. That was her rap name. If she gonna come out now, being that,
you know what, Jay-Z, Nas has always been able to outthink and outmaneuver Jay-Z. Even when they was having their rap battle back in the day, Nas, in most people's opinion, Nas came out on top. Like Nas won that. Then when it came to these young ladies that they were sleeping with, like Choke said, Nas just kept it, he just kept it 100. And he didn't put himself or throw himself under the bus because he had feelings for these young ladies. But Jay-Z would play himself out of position, and that just makes it seem like Jay-Z is he's an emotional kind of dude. And at that point in time, Jay-Z was, he probably was simping for the young ladies because that's probably all, that he wasn't used to having women like that. So that's probably all he could do to to get somebody and to keep them and stuff like that. So it's just crazy some of the things that Jay-Z did, when he was young for these women.
Gloria Velez talked about it. If she's gonna come around and talk about it, we know Nas ain't gonna talk about it. He'll duck that one.
And rightfully so. I think Gloria Valdez and if this other young lady want to talk about it, I just think that they just coming out now so they can, they can capitalize on the situation, which I mean, that is their, that's their prerogative. If they want to capitalize on the situation and gain some clout or maybe even make some money off of the situation, and that, they got every right because that's, that's their life. But Nas, he always seemed like he playing chess when everybody else is playing checkers. So Nas, like Choke said, he'll probably duck this situation won't even address it and just to keep it, keep it moving. Jay-Z too. Jay-Z, now I'm sure Jay-Z won't respond to something like this.
But it makes all the sense in the world now for everybody that been watching over the years why Jay constantly dropped on Nas dates. When Nas announced his album release, Jay posted a picture with all his Grammys. You know, you can see.
I believe that if Jay-Z had an opportunity to destroy Nas's career, I think he probably would have did that. That's, in my opinion, I think Jay-Z is just that vindictive that over a girl, he would have destroyed Nas' career. You just heard Choke No Joke said that Jay-Z used to drop albums on all of Nas' dates, trying to compete with him and trying to disrupt his business, right? But it never worked. Nas always seemed like he was one step ahead of Jay-Z, and Jay-Z was never able to interrupt Nas' business or interrupt his flow. So yeah, man, it's just crazy what they did for for jealousy and competition over these girls. And so that's my take on the situation. Y'all make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to leave a comment, and I'll check you all out in the next video. Peace.